So before 2025 ends, me and Muriel Point wanted to bring up a CHH artist that's been, interestingly enough, been having a quiet resurgence and second wave of sorts within his 13 years of Christian hip-hop. This is an artist that's done a complete 180 for not only himself, but for the people he's legitimately supporting around him. And that artist is none other than Marty. After a 6-year run at Capitol Records expired, we didn't hear much of anything until 2023, as Marty quietly started rolling out into the Flop Era series, an execution of volume-style projects marking a new start over, to figure things out as a solo artist and being experimental even if he fails. The reinvention of the wheel to make fresh, new Christian music, in order to challenge the fate of what they say when you're no longer part of a major label, and to trust your gut, or really what God truly puts on your heart. Quite a different approach from the older days at Capitol, as him and Fern especially redefined how people viewed Christian music through interesting and polarizing storytelling. Though ever since moving independently, things just look much different now. People still attached to the past of Marty were constantly asking him for new music, despite dropping 4 consecutive projects.
Towards the end of the year, I have a lot of stuff to say about Marty, but where he's at as a solo artist now is quite similar. I think the one that record he put out just a few months ago, that one along with Hollywood Hills, the collaborative joint he did with Wes Pendleton, that I never would have thought Marty would have made something like that. To me, that stuff, that's quintessential next level like CHH. It's mature sounding. Marty has settled with his voice. He's still doing the off kilter. I'm awkward, but there's this subtle confidence that says, I may be a dork, but I'm cooler than all of you, right?
As an artist, you could easily get caught up in the idolization of the past, the frustration, and letting worldly accomplishments blur the lines of your purpose. However, Marty doesn't let that happen, as Apollo's proof of concept album is slowly changing that perception, as this is not only a new era for the ventures of Marty and Fern, and Marty as a solo artist, but Christian hip-hop's most promising startup, Apollo Records. A colorful roster of handpicked artists that's turning the tide and ear on a new age of Christian hip-hop. The Heiress, LJ the Messenger, Marty, Trey God, Fern, Gavin the Hot Rod, Andrew Pym, and Eli Williams all showcased that proof of concept was a great project to listen to, as I quite literally got the proof to a bigger vision that they're working on. The beat switches all over All-Star cast hope to be in. Swerve shows you while LJ the Messenger's voice is a great addition to Apollo. Trey's input gave the project a lot of spirit on Wake Me Up, and Stanza is possibly tied up there as my favorite song out of this project. Proof of Concept Volume 1 is a great direction starting for Apollo Records, especially considering that Marty was able to use the revenue from the Flop Era